1. Introduction. RAWSEP view. The United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only. For home building and furniture building. For just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry, and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable. Wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree, but it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM 2.5, and PM 2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM 2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM 2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lungs, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM 2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom, the Eco-Design Wood Stove, and International Convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. RAWSEP view. Purple air. PM 2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM 2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM 2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary.
Hi, my name is Lily. Andrew gave you the intro to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates and their concern for air pollution from indoor residential wood burning. Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, or RAWSEP, would like every near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner whose wood smoke enters their yards and sickens the near neighbors to have a purple air PM 2.5 monitor hanging from the eaves of their home to measure the level of PM 2.5 entering their yards. That measurement of air pollution should be used as evidence of unnecessary air pollution, and each indoor residential wood burner should be shut down based on that evidence, one indoor residential wood burner at a time if necessary. The presentation by Andrew ended at 2 minutes 5 seconds. The same presentation by Emma starts at 2 minutes 3 seconds before the end of this podcast. So I am Lily, your timekeeper, and you can start the next podcast at 2 minutes 5 seconds in if you would not like to see the presentation by Andrew a second time. This presentation by me, Lily, ends at 5 minutes in. What you will see in the main content of this RAWSEP podcast will be news about air pollution from indoor residential wood burning, and how that air pollution is being combated by ordinary people just like you who are unfortunately near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners at this time. There will also be news about unnecessary and highly polluting use of wood as fuel in industrial wood burners and preventable air pollution from wood burning. Wildfires. There will also be news about air pollution from PM 2.5 from gas-powered cars. There will also be news about airborne diseases which are also preventable with vaccines such as COVID-19 and measles and whooping cough, to name just a few. In 2025, Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates is also concerned with combating the Trump destruction of government funding for programs which protect human health through the Department of Health and Human Services, and Trump destruction of programs which fund the science and medical research plan to protect human health from preventable illnesses. Protecting human health is a patriotic act, and our defense against enemies is weakened if we are not as healthy as we can be. Heat pump rebates are now offered by the federal government, distributed through the eligible United States, are available in 2025, and are the best, cleanest, and now cheapest alternative to indoor residential wood burning if that burning is actually done to purportedly save money. Wind and solar as sources of the electricity that powers heat pumps and electric cars is also cheaper than burning wood. The adverse health effects that are caused by indoor residential wood burning also come at a cost to near neighbors, both in shortening and ending their lives, and in actual hospital, clinic, and funeral costs. Instead of being compensated monetarily, near neighbors should instead be able to achieve immediate relief by stopping indoor residential wood burning in their hyper-localized neighborhoods, which relief readings from purple air PM 2.5 monitors used as evidence of air pollution will help them achieve. Welcome to news about hopeful scientific and medical achievements that will also help us achieve the goal of clean air to breathe.
Web 57DHYAFZZFLZKj, August 20th, 2026 p.m. 2.5 Suppression of photosynthesis carbon capture. In this webisode, 1 United States, is a free heat pump really free? Understanding rebates 2. Arizona, why Wall Street wants you to believe burning trees is clean energy. And Viva, the largest wood pellet producer in the world, was built with private equity money. Riverstone Holdings first invested in 2010 through its $4.3 billion Riverstone Carlyle Renewable Energy Fund, then led a recapitalization worth more than $1 billion in 2020, bringing in money from investment firms. Goldman Sachs. Mubadala Fortress and Neuberger Berman wood pellets are labeled as carbon neutral due to a 2018 policy despite scientific challenges to this classification. 3 California, 4 Colorado. RAWSEP view wood for life is a cruel joke. 5 Connecticut. 6 Iowa. Sioux City PM 2.5 community air quality monitoring with purple air monitors shows periods of unhealthy air in Sioux City. 7 Maryland. 8 Massachusetts. Boston explores sea and river source heat pumps for big buildings. 9 Montana, knowing health effects of wildfire smoke exposure. 1 group takes matters into their own hands with purple air PM 2.5 monitors. 10 New Mexico. 11 New York ordinance and would smoke. The partial observer an objection to recreational wood burning fire pits in Cooperstown. 12 Oregon. 13 Rhode Island. 14 Texas. 15 Washington. 16 Australia. Heat pump rebate, the rebate cap that actually worked inside the Australia home battery tiered discount. 17 United Kingdom. Wood burning. Andy Burnham government issues important update on wood and log burners. 18 India. PM 2.5 85% of cities fail who pollution touchstone as India records unsafe PM 2.5 levels in July 19th. China. PM 2.5 particulate air pollution undermines plant water use efficiency by inhibiting photosynthesis. Main content. 1A United States. PM 2.5 RAWSEP view from Wikipedia. The American Council on Science and Health ACSH is a pro-industry advocacy organization founded in 1978 by Elizabeth Whelan with support from the Scaife Foundation and John M. Olin Foundation. The ACSH publications focus on industry advocacy related to food, nutrition, health, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, biology, biotechnology, infectious disease, and the environment. Its critics have accused it of being a front group for anti-science denialism. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulate smokescreen. Are wildfires hiding the good news on air quality? ACSH American Council on Science and Health. PM 2.5 is an exposure metric now used as a biomarker of possible harm. That distinction introduces uncertainty when moving from measured particle. 1B United States. Heat pump efficient wall-mounted heat pumps. Trend Hunter MRCOL has introduced the monoblock MTHP series, a 115V plug-in wall-mounted heat pump that provides year-round heating and cooling without. 1C United States. Heat pump rebate is a free heat pump really free? Understanding rebates, costs, and eligibility. PR log. In many cases, the term refers to government rebates, incentives, or discounts that may reduce the upfront cost for eligible households. Heat pump excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Artificial intelligence AI copilot search is a free heat pump really free? Understanding rebates, costs, and eligibility. A free heat pump is usually not truly free. It is more accurate to say that the out-of-pocket cost can be reduced to zero through a combination of federal, state, and utility incentives. The actual cost depends on the type of heat pump, your location, and your income. Federal incentives: 2025 to 2026 energy efficient home improvement credit. IRC 25C 30% of the cost for air source heat pumps up to $2,000 per year. This is non-refundable. You must have enough taxable income to claim it. Engineer fixed residential clean energy credit. IRC 25D 30% of the full installation cost, including labor for ground source geothermal heat pumps with no annual cap. Engineer fixed. Note: these federal credits expired for 2026 installations. They are no longer available. Energy Sage. State and local grants. Many states and municipalities still offer cash rebates or point of sale discounts that can offset the remaining cost after federal credits. High efficiency electric home rebate HEHR up to $8,000 for income qualified households, often less than 150% of area median income. Engineer fix examples: California up to $10,000, New York up to $12,000, Wisconsin up to $1,000, heatpumpnetwork.com, Massachusetts up to $8,500, New Jersey up to $7,500, Rhode Island up to $11,500, heatpumpnetwork.com. Utility company rebates. Utilities often run tiered rebates for specific high efficiency models, which can be stacked with state and federal incentives. These are usually cashback or bill credits. Engineer fixed typical costs before and after incentives. Duct air source approximately $14,529 before incentives to approximately $13,527 after incentives. Energy Sage ductless mini split approximately $25,957 to approximately $23,157. Energy Sage hybrid heat pump plus furnace approximately $14,353 to approximately $10,695. Energy Sage with strong state local rebates and federal credits. Many low to moderate income households can bring the net cost to $0. Eligibility considerations: income. Many state local programs are means tested. For example, HEHR. Engineer fix system type: air source, ground source, or heat pump. Water heaters may qualify for different credits. Quality home air care installation must be by a qualified contractor. Some programs require proof of installation. Bottom line: a free heat pump is rare, but with the right mix of federal credits, state local rebates, and utility incentives, you can make a high efficiency heat pump installation cost neutral or even fully funded. The key is to check the program of your state. For example, here utility rebates, confirm federal credit eligibility. If still applicable, combine all available incentives before quoting. Apply early, as funding can be limited. If you are in Wisconsin, for example, you can still access up to $1,000 in state rebates plus utility incentives, which with federal credits could cover much of the cost. Heatpumpnetwork.com. 1D United States. Heat pump MRCool launches do-it-yourself monoblock heat pump without outdoor unit. PV Magazine. The U.S. manufacturer has launched a 115V do-it-yourself monoblock heat pump with 10,000 BTU H cooling and 9,000 BTU H heating capacity. United States heat pump. More Americans are heating their homes with electricity than ever before. RMI. This trend includes both electric heat pumps and electric resistance heating, which is less efficient. Read our analysis of the benefits of switching. 1F United States heat pump. MRSOL launches 115V DIY heat pump with no outdoor unit. As HVAC wait times grow. PR Newswire. The new MRSOL monoblock MTHB series is an all-in-one wall-mounted heat pump that provides year-round heating and cooling without an outdoor. 1G United States heat pump. This DIY heat pump plugs into a wall outlet and has no outdoor unit. Electrek. The MRCOL new DIY heat pump plugs into a regular wall outlet and heats and cools small spaces without needing an outdoor condenser. 1H United States heat pump. US Q2 2026 update. Clean investment monitor. Heat pump investment reached $7 billion, increasing 25% quarter on heat pumps. Heat pumps. Zero emission vehicles. 1I United States PM 2.5 wildfire smoke linked to increase in ED visits for migraine and headache. JAMA network. Wildfire sourced fine particulate matter with an aerodynamic diameter of 2.5 micrometer or less. PM 2.5 was associated with a 6% increase in emergency. 2 Arizona wood burning. Why Wall Street wants you to believe burning trees is clean energy. Real clear policy. Under U.S. federal policy, wood pellets are classified as carbon neutral renewable energy. That label assigned in an overlooked 2018 writer buried summary. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Artificial intelligence AI search. Wall Street promotes the idea that burning wood pellets is a clean energy alternative to fossil fuels despite significant evidence suggesting it may not be environmentally friendly. This classification as carbon neutral under U.S. policy has sparked controversy and debate among scientists and environmentalists. The controversy surrounding wood pellets. The debate over wood pellets as clean energy is multifaceted. Carbon emissions. Studies indicate that burning wood releases more carbon into the atmosphere than coal and gas. Policy classification. Wood pellets are labeled as carbon neutral due to a 2018 policy. Despite scientific challenges to this classification, environmental impact. The industrialization of forests for biomass energy threatens ecosystems and biodiversity. Economic interest. The Wall Street backing of wood pellet production is driven by potential profits from renewable energy markets. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Arizona. Real clear policy. Why Wall Street wants you to believe burning trees is clean energy. Under U.S. federal policy, wood pellets are classified as carbon neutral renewable energy. That label assigned in an overlooked 2018 writer buried in a massive appropriations bill is worth billions of dollars. The people who lobbied hardest to put it there were not scientists. They were investors who may make billions as a result of that controversial decision. Enviva, the largest wood pellet producer in the world, was built with private equity money. Riverstone Holdings first invested in 2010 through its $4.3 billion Riverstone Carlyle Renewable Energy Fund, then led a recapitalization worth more than $1 billion in 2020, bringing in money from investment firms Goldman Sachs, Mubadala Fortress, and Neuberger Berman. None of them were betting on wood, but on a label. Take away the renewable designation and the business disappears. It only works when governments agree to count pellets as clean. A label that valuable has to be defended, and it has been. Senate lobbying records show Enviva paying for a Washington lobbying operation year after year alongside trade groups like the American Forest and Paper Association. In 2018, the effort paid off. A writer buried on page 902 in the appropriations bill of that year ordered the EPA, USDA, and the Department of Energy to adopt policies that reflect the carbon neutrality of forest bioenergy language the industry had pushed for years. AF and PA issued a press release applauding Congress for it. In effect, Congress legislated a scientific conclusion because investors in the wood-burning industry needed it to be true. The writer has been quietly renewed ever since. The trouble is that the science makes it clear that the label is wrong. Burning wood releases its carbon immediately, and because wood is a low-density fuel, each kilowatt-hour puts 2 to 3 times as much carbon dioxide into the air as fossil fuels do. A pellet burns in seconds. The tree it came from took decades to grow. Even a fast-growing pine needs 25 or 30 years, and the bottomland hardwoods being fed into southern pellet mills may have been standing since before anyone reading this was born. How many things do we wait 80 years for anymore? That is the timescale on which the carbon math of the wood-burning industry is supposed to balance, and it is time that the climate does not have. In 2021, more than 500 scientists and economists, including a former IPCC chair, wrote to President Biden and European leaders asking them to stop treating biomass as carbon-neutral. Trees, they wrote, are more valuable in the forest than felled and burned for dirty energy. The whole idea of neutrality rests on an accounting trick that assigns smokestack emissions to the land use ledger where they conveniently vanish from the books of a power plant. But the atmosphere does not keep 2 sets of books. Notice who has already come out ahead. Riverstone cashed out much of its position in the 2020 recapitalization. 4 years later, Enviva went bankrupt, crushed by debt despite every policy break Washington could offer, and the response of the wood-burning industry was more lobbying, this time for Inflation Reduction Act tax credits. The label keeps on paying out to special interests even when the business does not. What gets left behind are clear cuts across the South and increasingly across the West, and pellet mill pollution in communities that never saw the profits. Biomass should not be classified as carbon neutral. Physics does not bend to whatever conditions Congress writes into a rider. Congress should immediately strip the carbon neutrality language from spending bills, keep biomass out of clean energy tax credits, and let the EPA follow the evidence. Investors are free to place bets. What they should not get is a Congress willing to relabel pollution as climate progress, so the bet pays off while the forests of the nation are ground up to cover it. The Real Clear Policy article writer is the director and chair of the Rob and Melanie Walton Sustainability Solutions Service at Arizona State University. 3A California Oakland heat pump rebate and brief. Oakland City Attorney Office sues building manager owner. East Bay Times heat pump water heater $800 standard rebate and up to $2,000 for income qualified solar plus battery system $2,000 standard rebate and up to 3B California Piedmont heat pump rebate. Expanded home electrification rebates offer more ways to save. Piedmont Exedra heat pump heating and cooling rebate now limited to income qualified households planning an electric upgrade for your home. Your project may be 4A Colorado wood-burning fire danger drops 2 levels to high, but stage 2 restrictions stay in place. Summit daily 13 Summit County fire officials move the fire use of charcoal and or wood pellet grills, smokers, and barbecues coal and wood-burning stoves. And 4B Colorado wood-burning RAWSEP view wood for life is a cruel joke since burning wood shortens and ends lives prematurely and contributes to a laundry list of preventable medical problems. If only clean energy is used for home heating, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning. Should firefighters gather coal for people to use to heat their homes when we live in a modern world where less polluting methods of home heating are available and increasingly cheap, such as wind and solar power producing electricity to power clean energy heat pumps? From the article headline, Why Firefighters in Colorado Tried to Save Firewood During a Summer Wildfire. The Colorado Sun. While the Ferris Fire Rage crews protected stacks of logs known as decks earmarked for wood for life, a partnership between the Forest Service firefighters in Colorado attempted to save firewood during a summer wildfire to protect valuable timber resources that could be used for heating by local Native American tribes. This effort was part of a broader initiative to manage forest resources sustainably while addressing immediate fire threats. RAWSEP view the rationales, or more likely excuses below, for continuing to burn wood in Native American communities are simply rejections of scientific and medical truths about wood burning and the air pollution it needlessly generates in the modern world when clean energy alternatives exist, such as wind and solar and geothermal energy generation powering a grid that should extend to all rural areas to power electrical heating appliances such as clean energy heat pumps that work down to 40 degrees below zero and also function as air conditioners in these global warming times. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Artificial intelligence AI search firewood conservation efforts. Firewood conservation during wildfires serves multiple purposes. Resource protection. Firefighters aim to save timber that could be used for heating by Native American tribes through the Wood for Life program. Sustainable management. The initiative reflects a commitment to sustainable forest management practices, balancing fire control with resource conservation. Community support. By preserving firewood, firefighters help support local communities that rely on wood for winter heating. Fire prevention. Saving firewood can also contribute to reducing future fire hazards by managing forest density. 5 Connecticut New Haven heat pump rebate. 8 best HVAC companies in New Haven, Connecticut of 2026. Consumer Affairs. Energize CT heat pump and HVAC rebate program. Connecticut Energy Efficiency Fund rebates of up to $2,500 per household on qualifying air source heat. 6 Iowa Sioux City PM 2.5 community air quality monitoring shows periods of unhealthy air in Sioux City, Iowa. Capital Dispatch. Iowa Environmental Council helped residents install 6 purple air monitors for PM 2.5 in Woodbury County shortly after the council published a report. RAWSEP view this article about a report on PM 2.5 levels detected by community purple air monitors does not discuss indoor residential wood burning as a source of some of the PM 2.5 detected. However, this Iowa community is becoming aware of the adverse health effects of PM 2.5 due to the purple air monitor detection instruments. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Iowa Capital Dispatch on Yahoo, August 13, 2026. A report from Iowa Environmental Council looks at air pollution in the Sioux City region. Iowa Environmental Council installed air quality monitors in Woodbury County in 2025, revealing frequent acute air pollution events caused by local coal-fired power plants, processing facilities, and vehicle emissions. The council found a correlation between high PM 2.5 levels and emissions from the George Neal North and South power plants, pushing for a transition to renewable energy sources like wind and solar to address the health impacts of air pollution in the Sioux City region. Long-term exposure to PM 2.5 pollution can lead to adverse health outcomes such as respiratory illnesses, cardiovascular disease, strokes, and certain types of cancer, prompting the Iowa Environmental Council to call for coordinated action to reduce emissions and strengthen public health protections. In 2025, Iowa Environmental Council worked with Woodbury County residents to install air quality monitors in the county. A year later, air quality data shows the county frequently has acute air pollution events. The council analyzed data from surrounding polluters and found that fossil fuel combustion from local coal-fired power plants, emissions from local processing facilities, and vehicle emissions caused a concerning pattern of long-term exposure in the Siouxland region. Exposure to the type of air pollutants measured by the monitors, particulate matter 2.5 or PM 2.5, can contribute to a wide range of adverse health outcomes, including respiratory illnesses and cardiovascular disease, strokes, and certain types of cancer. While the report notes multiple pollution sources impacting PM 2.5 levels in the region, it also finds correlation between periods of high PM 2.5 levels and reported emissions from the George Neal North and George Neal South power plants. One of the Iowa Environmental Council main priorities is pushing for continued transition from coal-powered energy to renewable energy sources like wind and solar. In a news release about the report, council staff members called for a phase-out of the coal plants, which are both owned and operated by Mid-American Energy Company. Air pollution is an issue across Iowa, but the effects are not felt uniformly. Jordan Oster, the council energy program director, said the Sioux City community is bearing the health impacts of Mid-American Energy dirty coal plants. We need our utilities to transition away from coal, and until they do so, our utilities should be held responsible for the cost of their pollution. What are PM 2.5 monitors? Iowa Environmental Council helped residents install 6 purple air monitors for PM 2.5 in Woodbury County shortly after the council published a report that listed the county as having the highest rates of asthma in adults over 18 compared to other Iowa counties. Purple air monitors are Wi-Fi-enabled monitors that measure particulate air pollutants and report to a global air quality database to enable citizen-led near real-time monitoring of air quality. Particulate matter is a mixture of solid and liquid particles in the air like dust, dirt, smoke, and other smaller particles. PM 2.5 refers to fine inhalable particles with a diameter of 2.5 micrometers or smaller. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency EPA, holds these smaller particles pose the greatest health problems as the fine particles can be absorbed deep into the lungs and even enter the bloodstream. Exposure to these particles, according to EPA, is linked to aggravated asthma, premature death in people with heart or lung conditions, heart attacks, and decreased lung function. A year worth of data from the monitors shows a highly synchronized citywide problem. According to the report, rather than experiencing isolated local incidents, the entire greater Sioux City area undergoes simultaneous acute pollution events the report said a sensor installed on Market Street in downtown Sioux City showed a concerning pattern of long-term exposure where PM 2.5 levels formed a continuous block of pollution through the spring and summer months rather than periodic spikes that exceed EPA thresholds for unhealthy and unhealthy for certain groups. A chart from an Iowa Environmental Council report shows a correlation between nitrogen oxides and sulfur dioxide emissions and measured PM 2.5 levels graph courtesy of Iowa Environmental Council sources of PM 2.5. Some sources of particulate matter are directly emitted, but most per EPA are in the atmosphere as a result of complex reactions of chemicals emitted from power plants, industries, and vehicles like sulfur dioxide SO2 and nitrogen oxides. NOx. The report tracked a correlation between increased SO2 and NOx emissions and higher PM 2.5 levels in the region. This correlation, it argues, means a connection between increased coal plant emissions and PM 2.5 levels, although this correlation does not equal causation. It does underscore the coal plant role as a key contributor to regional particulate pollution during this time frame, the report said. 7 Maryland Salisbury Heat Pump Rebate 2026 Hamilton HVAC Cost Report. Hamilton Home Comfort compares heat pump versus air. WBOC qualifying heat pump installations may also be eligible for rebates, generally ranging from $1,000 to $1,500 subject to homeowner eligibility. 8A Massachusetts Heat Pump. Boston explores C and RiverSource heat pumps for big buildings. Canary Media heating and cooling to some of the largest institutions in the area. The concept of the heat pump, a device that pulls heat from one place. And 8B Massachusetts Heat Pump Rebate exclusive reservoir raises $8 million for heat pump water heaters. HeatMap News Boston-based startup Reservoir has raised an $8 million seed round to commercialize heat pump-powered water heaters. 8C Massachusetts Bedford wood burning. Bedford Fire Department responds to teens who were burning with the Bedford Citizen fire made of wood pallets. The firefighters extinguished the fire and advised the teenagers they should not be burning. Firefighters spoke to the excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Artificial intelligence AI Copilot search. Bedford Fire Department responds to teens burning wood between July 27th and August 2nd, 2026. The Bedford Fire Department BFD handled 78 active calls during a busy week, including multiple medical emergencies, fire alarms, and hazardous material reports. The Bedford Citizen. One notable incident occurred on July 27th at 1:34 p.m. when Engine 2 responded to Bueller Road for an outside smoke report. Upon arrival, firefighters found that someone had been burning yard waste in a concrete container, and the fire had recently been extinguished. The container was still smoldering, so crews doused it with additional water before returning to service. The Bedford Citizen. While the report does not explicitly name the individuals involved, the nature of the call involving burning wood or yard waste in an outdoor container suggests it may have been linked to the teens who were burning wood that the community news highlighted. In such cases, BFD often works with local authorities to ensure the area is safe and to address any potential fire hazards. The department emphasized that all firefighters are qualified to provide medical care and were on standby for other emergency details during the week. The Bedford Citizen. 9A Montana PM 2.5 knowing health effects of wildfire smoke exposure. One group takes matters into their own hands. Explore Big Sky. Those checking their local AQI may see a note about particulate matter 2.5. He noted that PM 2.5 particles have been found on the fetal side of the placental barrier. RAWSEP view. RAWSEP expected to read the good news of this local Montana organization checking particulate matter levels with purple air PM 2.5 monitors in order to shut down polluting indoor residential wood burning one appliance at a time if necessary, but was disappointed to learn this organization is only passing out air filters. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Artificial intelligence AI Copilot search community action to combat wildfire smoke health risks. When wildfire smoke exposure is linked to serious health effects from respiratory irritation and asthma flare-ups to heart attacks and premature death, some groups are taking proactive steps to protect their communities. In the Montana Big Sky, the Big Sky Rotary Club responded to rising air quality index AQI levels by organizing a workshop with the woman who is the Montana Health and Climate Program Manager. Their members learned how to build low-cost air cleaners using readily available materials: a box fan, a MERV 13 grade air filter, and a few pieces of duct tape. Newsbreak. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, a MERV 13 filter can capture a significant portion of harmful particles like PM 2.5, which are the main health concern in wildfire smoke. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. These DIY air cleaners can reduce airborne pollutants indoors, helping people, especially those at higher risk, breathe cleaner air. The Rotary Club then distributed the units to the community during periods of high smoke, giving residents a practical, affordable way to improve indoor air quality without relying on expensive commercial systems. Newsbreak. This initiative reflects a broader public health strategy. Short-term exposure can cause headaches, eye irritation, coughing, wheezing, and difficulty breathing, while long-term or repeated exposure can worsen lung function, trigger heart attacks, and increase hospital admissions. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. +1 indoor air filtration is a proven way to reduce PM 2.5 and other pollutants, especially when outdoor air quality is poor. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. By combining education, resource sharing, and community mobilization, groups like the Big Sky Rotary Club are empowering residents to take control of their health during wildfire smoke events, complementing official air quality advisories and public health guidance. 9B Montana PM 2.5 smoke plumes have unique fingerprints. They are all bad for your health. Montana Free Press. Much of his research looks at fine particulate matter in the air, like bits of soot, dust, or smoke smaller than 2.5 micrometers, or PM 2.5, as it is called. RAWSEP view. Wood smoke in all its forms is harmful to human health. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Artificial intelligence AI Copilot search. Smoke plumes have unique fingerprints. All are harmful. Wildfire smoke is not a uniform pollutant. Each plume carries a distinct chemical fingerprint depending on what is burning and where the fire is located. Their fingerprints vary, but the danger is universal. The Whitehall Ledger. 9C Montana PM 2.5 wildfires create unhealthy air quality in most of central Montana. Lewistown News. Argus. The term for that fine particulate matter is PM 2.5, meaning it is a measure of the amount of particulates that are 2.5 microns in size or smaller. 10 New Mexico PM 2.5. Is this air safe to breathe? How wildfire smoke impacts your health. UNMHSC newsroom. That smoke is filled with ultrafine particulate matter PM, a mix of solid and liquid particles in the air, measuring 2.5 micrometers or less PM 2.5. 11 New York Ordinance and wood smoke. The partial observer and objection to recreational wood-burning fire pits. In Cooperstown, all.cgo.com, the code mainly addresses potential loss of property through poor siting and lack of oversight by fire pit owners, while it does prohibit open ordnance. And wood smoke. New York State comments on the backyard campfire smoke law. Newsbreak. Burning pressure or chemically treated wood, painted or stained wood, or composite wood such as plywood and particle board firewood. That has New York. Cooperstown. Wood burning. The partial observer and objection to recreational wood-burning fire pits. In Cooperstown, all.cgo.com. Wood-burning fire pits create localized pockets of wood smoke that smell as much as the wood smoke from Canada, and the smell persists after a fire. Excerpts. Edited by Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates Artificial Intelligence AI. Search. The article discusses concerns regarding recreational wood-burning fire pits in Cooperstown, highlighting their negative impact on air quality and community health. Residents are urged to consider regulations to mitigate these issues. Concerns about recreational wood-burning fire pits. The article outlines several key issues related to wood-burning fire pits. Air quality. Wood-burning fire pits contribute to localized smoke, which can linger for hours and affect air quality. Health risks. Prolonged exposure to wood smoke can pose health risks, particularly for vulnerable populations. Community impact. Residents have raised concerns about the smell and smoke affecting their quality of life. Regulatory measures. The article suggests that local authorities should consider stricter regulations to manage recreational burning. Excerpts. Edited by Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates and Objection to Recreational Wood-Burning Fire Pits in Cooperstown. I am here to ask the trustees to consider ways to reduce the use of recreational wood-burning fire pits in the village. Like many municipalities in the state, Cooperstown relies on Section 307 of the State Fire Code to regulate recreational wood-burning fire pits. The code mainly addresses potential loss of property through poor siting and lack of oversight by fire pit owners. While it does prohibit open burning that is offensive or objectionable, that is a gray area. Wood-burning fire pits create localized pockets of wood smoke that smell as much as the wood smoke from Canada, and the smell persists after a fire pit goes out, sometimes for several hours. Every year, more village residents buy into the nostalgia of sitting around a campfire walking around the village. On any summer evening, you can smell wood smoke in most neighborhoods. Numerous third-party studies show that wood smoke, while natural, is bad for us. If you smell wood smoke, it is damaging your lungs with particulate matter. It may be poisoning you too because it carries toxins. Some of these toxins, like benzene and formaldehyde, are known carcinogens. The EPA identifies children and older people, especially those with compromised lung function, as being at the highest risk. The 2020 census recorded that nearly a quarter of households in Cooperstown include children under 18. Nearly a fifth of households include at least one person over 65. That suggests an elevated risk from wood smoke to roughly half of Cooperstown households this summer. We have been told on several days to avoid being outdoors, close up our houses, and run filtration systems to reduce exposure when the air quality index is above 100 due to Canadian wood smoke. Recreational wood-burning fire pits are as harmful as second-hand cigarette smoke, much more so than charcoal and gas grills, which burn at higher temperatures and so pose a lower health risk. But in that small town way, we are avoiding confrontation and putting up with a public health risk. Recreational wood-burning fire pits in densely settled places like the village clearly impinge on the human rights of surrounding neighbors to peacefully enjoy their property, especially at a time of year when we want to be outdoors. We cannot do much about Canadian wildfires, but we can take action to protect village residents from wood smoke generated by recreational wood-burning fire pits. This is about the human right to a healthful environment. I encourage the village trustees to go beyond a fire code that is about protecting property and act on their mandate to protect village residents from an identified locally generated risk to our health. A few municipalities in the state have already gone beyond the state building code. The problem is growing in Cooperstown, and it turns out I am not alone in thinking the time has come for action. Education seems to be the first step. Sources for further reading: Section 307 of the NYS Fire Code. This primarily addresses potential risk to property via conflagration. Section 307.1.1 does speak to burning that is offensive or objectionable, but offers no way to measure that articles about wood smoke as health risk. Several of the sites below are national, some come from western states where awareness has risen more quickly than in the Northeast. Wildfires all are third-party sites from federal and state agencies or nonprofit organizations. Some focus on the localized emissions produced by outdoor woodburning furnaces, which work at low temperatures, increasing smokiness similar to that often generated by backyard woodburning fire pits. 12 Oregon heat pump. RAWSEP. View this article about letters to the editor against heat pumps, because heat pumps are an added cost, shows that these reader views are short-sighted, and these criticisms about short-term lack of affordability may even be made for fossil fuel advocates. From the article headline: Readers respond, heat pumps another hurdle to affordable housing. OregonLive.com. Oregon Live. Despite some of the strongest building standards in the country, regulators are considering new heat pump mandates that would increase costs even. 13 Rhode Island heat pump rebate. Best HVAC repair companies in Rhode Island 2026 TYN Magazine. Heat pump conversions and rebate navigation are E. Coogan Heating Inc. Warwick, Rhode Island 4.7 190 plus heating specialist, owner involved, service on. 14 Texas Tarrant County. City of Keller wood burning. City of Keller implements temporary outdoor burning restrictions. Keller News. City of Keller wood burning fire pits, fire rings, and similar outdoor fires and other outdoor burning that may produce open flames, sparks, or embers. The burning. 15A Washington wood burning air quality alert affecting eastern Washington until further notice. The Olympian. Avoid using wood burning stoves and other sources of indoor smoke if possible. Comments. The NWS. Follow these simple 15B Washington heat pump rebate. Discounted heat pump program kicks off second year in Thurston County. The Chronicle heat pump campaign. Energize Thurston provides discounts, instant rebates, and customer support to help Thurston County residents purchase. And 15C Washington heat pump. The U.S. may be hitting a tipping point for heat pumps. Cairo 7 News. Seattle. Cairo 7 heat pumps extract warmth from wintry air and bring it inside. A far more efficient way of staying toasty than with gas furnaces. It is better to move heat pump. AOL.com. Available in duct and ductless systems. A heat pump relies on an outdoor condenser and an indoor air handler unit connected by refrigerant lines. 16 Australia heat pump rebate. The rebate cap that actually worked inside the Australia home battery tiered discount. Energy Matters rebates can favor larger, pricier models, rooftop solar, oversized arrays, and heat pumps, oversized units, chasing maximum rebate capture. 17A United Kingdom, wood burning Andy Burnham government issues important update on wood and log burners RAWSEP view. It is discouraging that part of the update seems to be that it is important to note that our proposed policies will not require anyone to remove or replace their existing appliance. Excerpts edited by Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates. Birmingham Live government has been consulting on changes to wood burner rules. Andy Burnham government issues update on wood and log burners rules. August 18, 2026. The Andy Burnham government has issued an important update regarding wood burners and log burners. As the nation endures a prolonged summer, the Labour government has been consulting on potential changes to wood burner regulations. The Makerfield MP inherits a country that just experienced its fifth heat wave of a long sweltering summer. The previous government, under Sir Keir Starmer, considered tougher restrictions on wood-burning stoves, encompassing stricter emissions limits for new appliances, warning labels, and increased fines of up to £2,000 for businesses selling wet wood. However, all decisions will now be down to Burnham, given that he has succeeded Sir Keir. In a statement on July 29 following the Burnham appointment as PM, a government spokesperson said, "We are committed to improving air quality to benefit public health, the environment, and the economy. As part of this drive, we have recently consulted on proposals to limit emissions from all new wood-burning stoves. It is important to note that our proposed policies will not require anyone to remove or replace their existing appliance." Grantham Research Institute on Climate Change and the Environment urged the Burnham government to act with urgency in tackling the climate crisis. Friends of the Earth declared it was high time for Burnham to end his silence on the climate emergency. The remarks come just days after the Green Party leader delivered his reality check. United Kingdom, wood-burning Andy Burnham government issues update on wood and log burners rules. Daily Express: the government has been consulting on changes to wood burner rules and has issued a major update. 17B United Kingdom heat pump rebate: the battery will not power the aircon after dark, and why that is not your fault. Solar quotes: rebate for every night you do not draw. Having a 15 kilowatts inverter cause you to heat pump rebates. Heat pump STC calculator tools, rebate and STC. 17C United Kingdom, wood burning crews continue to tackle ancient woodland fire. BBC Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue said about 1,000 square meters of grass undergrowth and woodland at Stapleford Woods close to the border with 17D United Kingdom, wood burning fire behavior of thermomechanically densified wood NPJ materials degradation. Nature: this study investigates the effect of thermomechanical densification on the fire behavior of wood using cone calorimetry. Scots Pine Wood was 18 India PM 2.5 85% of cities fail who pollution touchstone as India records unsafe PM 2.5 levels in July. Telegraph: India, the ultrafine PM 2.5 is considered one of the most toxic air pollutants as it can trigger a range of diseases including fatal ones on sustained. 19A China and India PM 2.5 large-scale PM 2.5 removal and CO2 direct air capture to mitigate ambient air pollution. RAWSEP view: adding solar panels to carbon capture may help, but just do not burn wood to begin with. So this mitigation, if it works, does not have to be done after the fact. The capture is of CO2 and apparently not capture of PM 2.5. Excerpts edited by Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates. SciEngine August 1, 2026. This paper summarizes a decade of development of a solar-assisted large-scale cleaning system SALSCs aimed at mitigating urban PM 2.5. This effort has led to the construction and operation of 4 SALSC units located in Xi'an, China, Yanqing, China, and New Delhi, India. 6 papers have been published to document the modeling, design, construction, operation, and measurement of 3 generations of SALSCs. The weather research and forecasting WRF model was utilized to obtain local meteorological information and solar intensity conditions around the SALSCs. The first generation SALSC Xi'an takes the form of an updraft solar tower that utilizes solar heating to drive a large volume of airflow through the SALSC. Filters are positioned along the flow path to remove PM 2.5, resulting in cleaner air exiting the top of the tower. In the second generation SALSCs Yanqing, the media filters are replaced with water spray to scrub out PM 2.5. The third generation SALSCs New Delhi employs a set of fans to draw PM 2.5 from the tower inlet through pre-filters and final filters, blowing the cleaned air out near ground level to pedestrians surrounding the SALSCs. A proposal is presented that combines the first and second generation SALSCs equipped with solar panels and direct air capture DAC of CO2 to achieve energy self-sufficiency and large-scale capture of 100 million tons of CO2 annually, 100 metric tons CO2 per year. 19B China PM 2.5 RAWSEP view. This article complements and reinforces the findings of the research paper from 2024, which proved that nearby wood-burning air pollution in the form of PM 2.5 causes nearby plants or trees to close their pores against the PM 2.5, just as humans hold their breath against PM 2.5 from nearby indoor residential wood-burning. When a plant or tree closes its pores, photosynthesis stops or slows, and no or less carbon is sequestered by a living plant or tree. Therefore, merely planting trees does not keep carbon from being emitted from wood burning and does not guarantee that carbon emitted by wood burning will reliably be sequestered by living trees. Planting trees alone is proven again in this study to be not enough to stop or even slow air pollution that harms human health and hastens climate change. From the article headline: Particulate air pollution undermines plant water use efficiency. WUE by inhibiting photosynthesis. Nature: the WUE decline arises primarily from the PM 2.5 induced suppression of photosynthesis rather than changes in evapotranspiration due to reduced. Excerpts edited by Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates. Artificial intelligence AI Copilot search particulate air pollution, specifically PM 2.5, significantly reduces plant water use efficiency by inhibiting photosynthesis. This impairment affects the ability of the plant to absorb carbon dioxide and utilize water effectively, highlighting the critical need for pollution mitigation efforts to support vegetation health and climate stability. Impact of PM 2.5 on plant efficiency. Understanding the effects of PM 2.5 on plants is crucial for environmental health. Photosynthesis inhibition. PM 2.5 pollution directly lowers photosynthesis rates in plants, which is essential for their growth and carbon uptake. Water use efficiency. The presence of PM 2.5 weakens the carbon-water coupling in vegetation, leading to decreased water use efficiency. Broader ecological effects, reduced plant efficiency, can have cascading effects on ecosystems, impacting food chains and biodiversity mitigation importance. Addressing air pollution is vital not only for human health, but also for maintaining plant health and ecosystem services. Excerpts edited by residents against with smoke emission particulates. Abstract: rising atmospheric CO2 and climate change have generally enhanced plant water use efficiency WUE, yet the influence of fine particulate pollution PM2.5 on this carbon water coupling remains poorly understood. Drawing on a global database of tree ring isotopes, eddy covariance fluxes, and satellite-derived vegetation metrics, here we show that PM2.5 exerts a predominantly negative influence on WUE across spatial scales. The magnitude of this effect varies geographically and is modulated by interactions among vegetation traits, pollution levels, and climate, with forests and non-forests exhibiting distinct patterns. The WUE decline arises primarily from the PM2.5 induced suppression of photosynthesis rather than changes in evapotranspiration due to reduced photosynthetically active radiation and carboxylation capacity. Current ecosystem models that omit aerosol processes fail to reproduce the observed PM2.5. Our findings identify PM2.5 as an overlooked yet critical factor that weakens plant carbon water coupling under climate change. 19C China PM2.5 thermodynamic insights into the molecular evolution of water-soluble organic matter in nature. Here, WSOM extracted from fine particulate matter PM2.5 collected across 4 seasons in humid suburban Chongqing was analyzed using ultra-high Webisode 57DHYAFZZFLZKj1 January 11, 2026. Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cartoon 1 of 5 Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1 The current government bid for an overall cut in scientific funding to $154 billion from $198 billion would be a plunge of 22%. Cell 2 This week, the Senate Appropriations Committee released a bipartisan package of bills. Cell 3 that largely scraps the current government-planned cuts to federal science programs. Cell 4 Congress will set aside roughly $188 billion for federal research. Cartoon 2 of 5 Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1 $188 billion for federal research will only be a drop of 4%. Cell 2 This rejects the current government push to let our competitors do laps around us. Cell 3 Last year, the current government administration called for a cut in federal basic research of more than 1/3. Cell 4 The current government sought even larger cuts for the National Science Foundation, which sponsors much of the nation's basic research. Cartoon 3 of 5 Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1 The current government proposed that the National Science Foundation NSF budget be slashed to $3.9 billion. Cell 2 from $8.8 billion, a drop of 56%. Cell 3 The Senate package countered with a reduction to $8.75 billion. Cell 4 or less than 1%. Cartoon 4 of 5 Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1 The Senate package includes $24.4 billion for NASA, a 1.6% cut. Cell 2 $8.8 billion for the Environmental Protection Agency EPA, a 4% cut. Cell 3 $8.4 billion for the Department of Energy Office of Science, a 1.9% increase. Cell 4 $6.2 billion for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, roughly flat. Cartoon 5 of 5 Congress is racing to undo thousands of cuts to federal science programs. Cell 1 The Senate and the House are now not far apart for negotiations on a final budget. Cell 2 The House's moves on 2026 science budgeting add up to $185 billion, which is close to the Senate figure of $188 billion. Cell 3 But this cannot undo the damage that the current government administration frenzy of budget cutting and administrative chaos. Cell 4 brought to the nation's scientific establishment.
Webisode 57DHYAFZZFLZKj1 January 11, 2025 If science funds are restored, then fund alternatives to wood burning. Cartoon 1 of 5 If science funds are restored, then fund alternatives to wood burning. Cell 1 Fund heat pumps that work down to 40 degrees below zero and also act as air conditioners. Cell 2 Fund extending a smart electric grid everywhere, including all rural areas. Cell 3 Fund wind and solar energy sources that produce electricity sent to the smart grid. Cell 4 Fund batteries that store the electricity produced by wind and solar long-term for use in emergencies. Cartoon 2 of 5 If science funds are restored, then cut dirty energy that is now funded. Cell 1 cut funds for biofuels such as wood stoves and wood burning for home heating. Cell 2 cut funds for biofuels such as corn-based ethanol for automobile fuel. Cell 3 cut funds for wood and other biofuels used to replace coal burning in industrial plants. Cell 4 cut funds for fossil fuels as well as cut funds for biofuels. Cartoon 3 of 5 If science funds are restored, enact regulations that fund removal of indoor residential wood-burning appliances. Cell 1 fund resident-owned Purple Air PM 2.5 monitors. Cell 2 given free to any near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner. Cell 3 whose wood-burning PM 2.5 emissions enter the yard of the near neighbor and sicken them. Cell 4 use the data downloadable from the Purple Air map as evidence to shut down each indoor residential wood-burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary. Cartoon 4 of 5 If science funds are restored, enact regulations that make electric vehicles and public transport affordable. Cell 1 reinstate rebates for electric vehicles. Cell 2 fund high-speed electric transport that will be low cost to all. Cell 3 enact fuel regulations to discourage production of gas-powered vehicles. Cell 4 fund research that makes production of electric vehicles efficient and cost-effective. Cartoon 5 of 5 If science funds are restored, enact regulations that make home heating and transport by electric vehicle affordable. Cell 1 do not allow subsidies for luxury electric vehicles. Cell 2 do not allow subsidies for home heating for individuals making over a certain salary. Cell 3 tax the rich to provide clean energy subsidies for the middle income and poor. Cell 4 keep in mind that the Energy Department and the EPA should work to stop air pollution that harms human health as well as slow climate change.
Webisode 57DHYAFZZFLZKj1 January 4, 2026 Would smoke affect the family adversely? Cartoon 1 of 2 Cell 1 When you know you are not protecting your family well enough. When you replace air filters and air purifiers every month instead of every 6 months. Just do not burn wood indoors residentially to begin with. Cell 2 When you are scared whenever someone opens a window. Just do not burn wood indoors residentially to begin with. Cartoon 2 of 2 Cell 1 It gives me no great joy to say this. Smog towers do not work. Cell 2 Carbon capture does not work. Just do not burn wood industrially in place of coal to begin with.
Red-green fox here. The quick red-green fox jumped over the barriers to clean air. Red-green fox here. Ready to sing to you the names of the 2025 major wood-burning biomass industry subsidy opponents. 1 Biofuel Watch. 2 Bulkley Valley Stewardship Coalition of British Columbia, Canada. 3 Kommite Schön Luft, which means Beautiful Air Committee in German. 4 Dogwood Alliance. 5 Equity Group Foundation, nicknamed EGF. 6 Environmental Paper Network, nicknamed EPN. 7 Natural Resources Defense Council, nicknamed NRDC. 8 Prakaunia Narzek Wissenskip Istet, which means Workshop for All Beings in Polish. 9 Rachel Carson Council. 10 Solutions for Our Climate, nicknamed SFOC.
Cat's corner strategy with Tiger and Leone. Saying the quiet part out loud. Roar. Hi, I am Tiger. Our human asked us to get up from our naps and start Cat's Corner strategy with Tiger and Leone. She gave us a list of internet allies which we will post for her here.
Hi, I am Leone. It is better for your mental fitness to go to these websites than to go to bro sites for advice. Substack letters from an American Heather Cox Richardson. Substack your local epidemiologist. The Midas Touch. The Guardian. The New York Times.
One introduction. RAWSEP view: the United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only. For home building and furniture building, for just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry, and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable, wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree. But it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen, and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM 2.5, and PM 2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM 2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM 2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM 2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom. The Eco-Design Wood Stove International Convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. RAWSEP View Purple Air PM 2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM 2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM 2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary.